Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. Friday, January 27th, 2017. The big news story: Theresa May, the new UK Prime Minister, due to the Brexit vote of June 23rd, meeting with Donald Trump. And recall, the day of the Brexit vote, which was an international surprise, Donald Trump happened to be in Scotland, where his mother's from. And what I documented then was June 23rd, the date of the Brexit vote, until the US election, November 8th. That was 138 days. And in the language of gematria, ancient knowledge of coding numbers into words, using the alphabetic order, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z, the 26 letters, Z is 26. If you write out the name Donald Trump using the alphabetic order and add each letter up, sums to 138. Donald Trump over there for the Brexit vote, 138 days before the election. Donald Trump's election said to be as big of a surprise as Brexit. But in truth, they're not really surprises, well, only to the masses, but not to the power structure that scripts all of this. We are living out an agenda, a narrative. Right now, the narrative in the world is the UK, the United States, they're doing dangerous, risky things. And you know what? I think the people of these nations are going to see a little bit of setback, and then the New World Order agenda will go, see, just follow the course we have laid out for you. Don't go off the path with, this populist Donald Trump, which is not a populist at all, but this stooge puppet pretending to be. If you missed my Brexit work, go back and check it out. If you missed my 100 plus videos in the last year and a half on Donald Trump news by the numbers, check them out. Today's just more of the same. Today is 218 days from the Brexit vote. If you don't listen to my radio show, it's every Wednesday night, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, 3-hour program. There's a man who calls in every week from Massachusetts, and he has all the 218 knowledge. Go check out Gematria Effect on Truth Frequency Radio. Listen to the past episodes. He calls in every week and drops knowledge about 218, the history of this nation, and more. 218 days from Brexit to today, where Trump and Theresa May, as world leaders, are having their press conference. But I don't want to talk about that much more other than documenting the colors they're in, red and black, the color of the Jesuits, Donald Trump the Jesuit. Whole lot of Jesuit symbolism going on right now. Remember this, just a little more than a week before the Super Bowl, the red and black. Where it gets tricky is the owner of the Atlanta Falcons, he has the same birthday as the Jesuit order, September 27th. But Robert Kraft himself also has the same connections. Tom Brady went to a Jesuit high school. Matt Ryan went to a Jesuit college, Boston College, right by the Patriots. But the Jesuit symbolism is just out in full force. What I want to talk about, though, is this propaganda story also circulating. This is the heart grabber story in the media today. CNN's been running with this. The young girl from Syria that wrote the letter to Donald Trump. She wants the U.S. militaries to come in and save the day in Syria. This is such sickening propaganda. It must be exposed. We're going to watch the provoking story, Unknowing people will be provoked by this story. They'll be ready to send in the U.S. military killing machine that's only purpose is to make sure tyranny spreads throughout the world. But anyway, let's just watch this propaganda. Notice the nice little owl on her shirt. We'll decode this in a moment. We're just going to give the media its due with their purposeful propaganda. Just understand that is what you are watching. We'll take it apart in a second.
Dear Donald Trump, my name is Bana Alabed and I am 7 years old, Syrian girl from Aleppo. I am part of Syrian children who safari. Some of my friends died. I am very sad about them. They are suffering because of adult people. I know you will be the President of America. If you promise me you will do something for the children of Syria, I am already your new friend.
So, of course, the message is the ongoing message dating back to the late summer, early fall of 2013 when John Kerry and Barack Obama began to beat the war drum with Syria. They said there was the chemical weapons attack in Damascus. Do you remember this story? And then they were saying al-Assad is this terrorist leader, the president of Syria. His birthday is September 11th. You gotta love it. Anyway, all of this is staged propaganda for an ongoing agenda of world domination, conquering strategic territories for resources, and a lot of it is self-fulfilling Bible prophecy. The destruction of Damascus is supposed to signal the end times, and now here we have Donald Trump, the Trump-Pence ticket, sounding a lot like trumpets. This girl's 7. There's 7 trumpets in Revelation, the final book of the Bible, the book of prophecy and destruction. Trump-Pence, 7 trumpets. Donald Trump, 70 years old, 7 months and 7 days on Inauguration Day. 777s. So this news comes today, January 27th. The 27th day of the first month, Syria equals 27. The girl's name is supposedly Bana Alabed, which in gematria sums to 25, just like Trump. And the reason I mentioned the baby blue is because so much was made about that color on Inauguration Day. Jackie Kennedy wore baby blue for the 1961 inauguration. Melania Trump, Donald Trump's wife, the first woman to wear baby blue since Jackie Kennedy. And remember, they said Melania's baby blue was made by Ralph Lauren. Ralph Lauren in gematria sums to the same thing as Jackie Kennedy. But anyhow, here's another 25 news story a week after the fact. Inauguration Day was last Friday. Here we are one Friday later. Donald Trump right away said the America First agenda is in force. And anyone who's taken the time to look at what America First is, the first thing is to destroy ISIS, the boogeyman that was created by our government right after the war drum stopped beating to attack Syria. Next thing we knew, we had propaganda about this radical offshoot from Al-Qaeda named ISIS terrorizing Syria and Iraq. And our own media even said the reason it's happening is because we went in to fight terrorism, but the mission failed. We didn't follow through. George W. Bush, the president when it began, his Secretary of Defense, Donald Rumsfeld, they said what? The war would be over in a month. They'd greet us with flowers. We'd be liberators. We'd be there and back. The war went on for over a decade, and they say we didn't finish the job. This is all propaganda. This is all how the military machine works. Lying to the people, creating needless war because it generates wealth and revenue for the people at the top. That's what it's all about. The game's as simple as that. So anyhow, the 25, notice the name of the mother. Fatima. Notice the owl on the girl's shirt. The word owl, there's a reason there's an owl tucked on our dollar bill in the top right corner, that microscopic owl they put on there that you need a magnifying glass to see, but that they worked into that print, the Federal Reserve. Owl, symbolic, watchful eyes, operating in the night. Owl, 50, like Donald, like America. The name of the mother, 27, just like this story being on the 27th, like Syria. If you read the story and look at the specific dates mentioned, it says the young girl and her family went into hiding And they said they're in Turkey, the U.S. ally that keeps having a lot of false flags by the numbers. Been talking about that all year. The U.S.'s biggest ally in the Middle East region. But anyway, said they went into hiding after their home was reduced to rubble on November 27th. November 27th. And here's what's so interesting about that date, November 27th. From that date to today's news is 61 days. The word news is 61. The story, the top caption is Save My Friends. Save My Friends 61. You know, last week the focus was on 61 too with Jackie Kennedy wearing the baby blue. And what is it about Jackie Kennedy and John F. Kennedy? You know, it was about war, avoiding a war, assassinations, money, the things it always comes back to. Just put out a video earlier today. If you missed it, I talk in detail about the inauguration, the parallels between Lincoln, Kennedy, Trump, Obama. Trump was sworn in last week on Kennedy's Bible, or not Kennedy's, Lincoln's Bible, who became president in 1861, 100 years before Kennedy. Check this video out. Very important video I put out this morning. But anyhow, 61 days later from the supposed destruction of their home, understand this is all propaganda. This is an entirely fictional story. Today's news, date with 65 numerology. Supposedly they lived in Aleppo. Aleppo 65. It's a story of death. Save her friends that are in danger. Today's date has the death numerology connections. It's also a date with 45 numerology. Of course, Donald Trump just became the 45th president. And again, the Holy Bible, the end times are foreshadowed by the destruction of Damascus, this old biblical city that is in Syria. And just to show off the Gematrinator calculator, recently built by somebody who discovered this work and wanted to accelerate the process. Just want to remind how 45 connects to the Bible. Holy Bible, 45. Just like Berlin Wall. And Donald Trump, Mr. Wall, about wars and walls so far, announced as the 45th president on the anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. And of course, Jackie Kennedy, she saw the demise of her husband in Dealey Plaza, which is also a 45. If you write out 45 as a word, it sums to 54, just like Jackie Kennedy and just like Ralph Lauren. Anyhow, side topic, things I talked about last week. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. Please go through my videos. 2,000 videos, and I try to make every single one worth watching and timeless. You can go back and watch my videos from a long time ago. I'm teaching about the way things have been, the way they're gonna be, and how history keeps repeating itself by the numbers because it's run by a gang of insane Freemasons that control the world with lies, tyranny, war, fear, aggression, intimidation. Look up the original definition of terrorism. It means government by intimidation. At this day and age, our government intimidates. It also tricks by playing on the emotions. You know, story of a little child who wants Donald Trump to send in the military a killing machine to save her friends. We'll be hearing news stories about how the drones accidentally blew up the latest school, the latest hospital, the stuff we've been hearing about for decades. You notice how they've gotten rid of those headlines for a while? We used to hear about that every night in the news. Drone strike accidentally kills these people, this school, this hospital, this neighborhood, this wedding. You know, that was the news cycle for a while. Then it became racially divisive propaganda. Because they know this is the United States of amnesia, a nation where its culture is spreading. Nobody remembers anything past Monday. Half the people who watch this video will forget it by next Friday, you know? Got to change that, truth seeker. We got to wake up and see what's going on. The media, it only pumps deception. Look at this. Watch live. Mexican billionaire Carlos Slim. Who's named Carlos Slim? I mean, you just already know it's bullshit. I'm sorry. A woman called this Wednesday and she said, I love your videos, but I can't share when you cuss. And I think I just didn't cuss the whole video, but then I let out a BS. It's hard when you're talking to an audience of thousands of people. For all of you who are so opposed to cussing, they're just words. You should be more concerned about the numbers behind the words. You know, it's spelling. Let's do a quick spelling lesson. USA. Hold on, I want to do it with the alphabetic order. There we go. Alphabetic order. U, the 21st letter. S, the 19th. A, the 1st. If you want to use Gematria, you just click. It gives you details. If you click the number, it tells you about the number. 41's the 13th prime number. Where's he have prime numbers up here? There it is. I see it's yes. Oh, prime, yes, 13th. So USA 41, the 13th colony, right? Or what am I saying? The USA began with 13 colonies, 13 stripes on the flag, 13 years of public school programming, 4113. The nation that wanted to be separate from the king, King 41. You know what this nation, you know what word comes out of my mouth more than anything else thinking about this world, this nation we live in? It's this one right here. You know, it's the F word. I won't say it for that lady. I'll just put it on the screen. But you see, I mean, these words, they're just numbers. That's why it's called spelling. You know, what do adults do for fun? You know, fun's 41. I can say fun. What do adults do for fun? It's almost the same word. One's bad, the other's, you know. And is it really bad? It's like people screaming out when they're doing it, having so much fun. I might have just horrified that lady who asked me not to cuss, but, you know, I'm just trying to make a point. The language is called English. We call it spelling. Spelling. Everyone's under this trance. They can't see any truth. They're all servants to the lies. Why is that? I think something's going on here. I think there's something more powerful about this encoding than we know, and there's a reason they've done it for so long. Yeah, True Seeker. Check out the other videos. A million more things to know. But that's it for today. And it's not like we can be mad at this little girl. She doesn't even know what she's doing. You know, it looked like she was like acting the part. They probably told her she was going to be in a movie. She doesn't know. She's 7. But that's just how sick the gang is, using a 7-year-old to make an excuse in the minds of the Americans to go kill more people. Just look at this guy, the Orange Oompa Loompa. Just such a doofus. They're all agents. Until next time, True